Ready when you are. Ready when, it's okay. Hey, good morning, people online. We're waiting for a couple of people to trickle in, and we'll get started soon. Morning. Good. Hey, good morning. I am Paulo, and I will be your leader in meditation this morning. Brief talk on what we are going to be doing today. We will do about 20 minutes of breathing meditation interspersed with chanting of Hung. A little break for questions, talks. For those of you online, please put in names of people that you would like to dedicate your merit to into our chat, and we can add it to our book. For those here, we have the book. You can add some prayers. Then we'll go back to meditating for about 10 minutes more, and then we'll close it together. We'll start with our aspirations. So generally speaking, I believe this is something most, if not all, Buddhists do, but we practice and we meditate not just to benefit ourselves, right? It's not just, of course we do it because we want to be happier and maybe less neurotic, but we also do it for the sake of other sentient beings, so we could show up better in this world and hopefully benefit them. So we'll start with our aspiration. If you know it, please chant it with me. It's in the yellow page if you all have it. I don't know if we'll show it online, but I'll go ahead and do it. And if you feel like joining me, please feel free. May all beings always have happiness in its causes. May all beings always be free of pain in its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, for as long as time remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pains. And with that as the basis of our motivation or our driving of why we meditate, let's talk a little bit about just what the meditation is going to look like and where it comes from. So this meditation comes down to us from Longtime Rinpoche, who is our teacher's teacher here at Dawn Mountain. And he is, I believe, the most renowned Sukchen teacher in Tibet that's alive today. I'm going to butcher the date, but I think it was back in the early 2000s. Anne was in Tibet and meeting with Longtime Rinpoche and his sister Jetsuma, and requested a teaching that, or a practice that would be profound and have an impact on people, and yet be accessible and something that we could, simply share, with beginners and senior students alike, and it would still be impactful. So what he offered us is the practice that we'll be doing today, which involves concentration on the breath, right? So like our breath is always here now in our bodies. It's really a channel or a conduit to get in touch with our body, right? It's what keeps us alive too. So in the yogic practices, breath is a source of life, is a source of energy. So there's a preciousness to just breathing, but it also has the factor that is here and now in our bodies, right? Our bodies are always present, unlike our minds. So by breathing and getting in touch with our breath, we're able to access our bodies and thus access the present time. It's a really nice thing because it's always with us, right? We, as humans, we have these precious bodies and we're able to use them as a conduit to the present moment. Interspersed along the way with our breathing meditation, we will do a little bit of chanting of the syllable hung. And you just kind of, I think it's really optimal to not think too much about what hung means or what it is just to get the feeling of the vibration in your body and what impact that has to the state of mind and body. So I'll invite you to just chant. We'll do about 2 chants per breath, and we'll chant for 1 to 2 minutes. And I'll point you in the direction, but generally speaking, just bringing some curiousness around, what effect does that have on you? And there's no right answers, just curiosity. Yeah, let's jump into it, and then we can talk a little bit more. So allow yourself to settle into your breath, into the present moment. I like to start by just finding a comfortable seat that allows, if you're sitting on a chair or a meditation cushion, it doesn't really matter, just wiggling back and forth so that both your sit bones make connection. There's about even pressure between them. If you're on a chair, both your feet are on the ground, just allowing yourself to be supported. If you're on a meditation cushion, it's really just about finding a balance on your sits bones in a cross-legged position that is comfortable and it's not going to hurt you. It's not about being a martyr here. It's about being at ease. And then from there, once you found a center down at your base, we start to align and stack our spinal cord with our hips so that our vertebrae sit one on top of the next, and allowing some alignment to go up until you get to your cervical spine or like the bottom of your neck. And you want to tilt it a little bit forward. There's a tendency, at least for myself, to kind of look up. And this actually jams your cervical spine in a way that is not ideal. So just tucking in your chin bone a little bit. It's nice. It's more easeful. It's a more natural posture for your body. And it's meant to be comfortable. There's a little bit of effort to standing up, but it should be relatively useful for you. As you find this, straight yet easeful position in your body, just doing a quick scan for all that tension that might have crept up through the week or the month or whatever. Taking a big inhale, and then slowly releasing that and just letting that tension wash away slightly as you exhale. Maybe you notice that your shoulders are tense or your belly is tight. And then inviting that in breath into that area just to carve out a little bit of space there. And then you exhale, just letting it relax, or maybe just suggesting that it relaxes, right? And as you connect with your breath and your body, just arriving home. I like to think of my body and the present moment as home, right? There's no There's no chasing after the future or lamenting over the past. It's just home. It's here and now. Now that we're within our bodies, we'll connect to the three pillars, right? So the first pillar being Earth, Mother Earth. Just noticing and acknowledging how your body is held by gravity without judgment, without expectations. This planet lets us sit on it and protects us. It's got this wonderful magnetic field that protects us from nasty radiation on the outside universe. But it really doesn't expect anything of us, or at least, wants anything. We're just able to be here supported by the gravity of the planet. Just touching into that. From there, feel the sits bones that connect to that embrace of gravity and your skeletal muscle that holds you up. That is support too. And although I'm currently blanking on the third support, I usually think of the community. Oh, the central channel. Thank you. Call for a friend. We always have them. Central channel of our body, right? Which is this highway on our spine that goes from the top of our head to the bottom of our navel. This is traditionally where our energy sits in the yogic and Tibetan traditions. And this supports us too, just feeling into that straightness of the central channel. I personally always like also to think about a fourth sprinkle in a fourth support, which is the community, which right now is supported by the community, by a reminder of what my third support was, which is always nice. It's just feeling supported by these three: the earth, our bones, our central channel. Allowing yourselves to breathe. As you settle into the three supports in your breath, inevitably thoughts will arise. Try to pull you to tomorrow or to yesterday. Well, we've carved out this little piece of time together to not chase after the future of the past. So just notice it. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Just slightly nudge your attention back to the breath, knowing that it's okay to have thoughts. But right now, we're trying to pay attention. Om. Just noticing if that had any effect on your state of mind or body. As we leave that experience in the past, we connect back with our breaths. Maybe you notice your breath at the tip of your nose, just feeling it come in and out there. Maybe it's your throat or your lungs. You can feel your chest expanding. Maybe you've done this a lot and you notice it at your jaw, the center of your body from a traditional perspective, the Tao, which is 2 fingers width below your navel, two finger widths in. You're able to take a deep breath into your belly, down there in the core of your being. And relax and let go a little bit as you exhale. You desire to go into your belly, take a deep breath, and allow first your belly and the back really of your lower back to expand as you inhale. And your rib cage in the midsection expands. And then finally topping off at your collarbones as they rise a little bit. And then exhaling, letting go of the extension around your shoulders or your belly, maybe your jawline or your eyes. Allowing for the inhalation to carve out space in our bellies or chests or shoulders. And the exhalation washes out staleness. From a very literal sense, when we inhale, we bringing life and energy in the form of oxygen. As we exhale, we get rid of the old in the form of CO2. It's just tapping into the life-giving nature of breath and the present moment. If there's a sense of excess sleepiness as you meditate, I like to invite my in-breath and imagine that it's light coming into it or wakefulness coming into it as you inhale. If you're feeling excess anxiety around your meditation, maybe taking some deep breaths and allowing yourself to exhale through your mouth. And that lets your nervous system come down a little bit and let go of some of that anxiety. None of these are absolutes, but you're welcome to try them and see what effect they have on you. Om Just digesting the experience, just allowing it to wash over you. At least for me in meditation, oftentimes it's the pauses or the moments in between one thing or the next that the real nectar, juiciness of the meditation sits. So, I don't know, I invite you to explore that yourself. And then coming back into connection and tapping back into your breath as you inhale, coming back into your body here now. As you exhale, letting go of the past or the future. If you haven't thus far, I invite you to try to meditate with your eyes open for a little bit. In our tradition, we meditate with our eyes open because we don't meditate to run away from the world. We actually meditate to learn how to engage the world better, how to be present and how to be here. So as a gesture of that, we meditate with our eyes open. And again, don't be discouraged or overwhelmed by the fact that you have thoughts. I think everybody, depending on, whatever state of mind you're in that particular day, but especially for those of you who are beginning in your journey as meditators, occasionally our thoughts can be a little bit overwhelming when you notice them, and that's okay. You have mind, you have thoughts. Just try not to fight them. Meditating is an action of coming back over and over to the object of meditation, in this case our breath. So please don't be discouraged, but just every time you notice it, don't be angry or annoyed. Just know that this is part of the process of coming back to the present moment with your breath. Maybe gently touching the thought or the sound or the distraction, noticing that it's there. Just nudging your attention back to the breath. The book of names is going around. If you'd like to dedicate our marriage, so just I think this is a common thing amongst religions. I can't claim to have been to a lot of them, but I think when we do, I remember growing up as a Catholic, and we would put names of people that we just thought needed an extra boost from our energy. Generally speaking, we dedicate our merit to everyone, all sentient beings, but in particular, we like to focus our energy on our merit towards certain people, and we put in the book of names. Yeah, so we'll take a little bit of time. Are there any questions or concerns, either from the public? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking a little bit on the topic of having thoughts while you're meditating and being distracted. And I think it's a common theme that I talk to just the average person out there. Like, oh my God, I started meditating, and now it feels like all these thoughts are coming up. And that's natural. I really think it's a factor of you're noticing that you have a lot of thoughts. I think oftentimes we might go a little bit distracted through life, not noticing that there's continuous chatter or inner monologue or dialogue inside of us. And then you finally sit down and try to slow down, and it's like, the little voice inside your head is telling you a story, or arguing with you about something, at least in my case. And that's normal. That's, I think the Tibetan said, you can't have meat without bones. You can't have mind without thoughts. So I think especially in the beginning, it's really important to acknowledge that it's okay to have thoughts. If you didn't have thoughts, you probably wouldn't have mind, and if you wouldn't have mind, you wouldn't be able to meditate. So it's okay. I think for the more senior meditators, I really do. It really depends so much on what's going on in your life that particular day. At least for me, some days I'm like really calm. Like, I had a great meditation. This is awesome. Some days it's like, holy cow, I am so anxious about X, Y, and Z. I cannot pay attention for 5 seconds. I'm being pushed and pulled. I hope other people relate to that. I think just from reading reports from people, that is the case. So it's just about being gentle with our practice, gentle with ourselves and our expectations around it. I think sometimes we fall into wanting to be perfect, and in that wanting to be perfect, we might beat ourselves up or have negative things to say about ourselves, because we're not doing this really nice meditation that day. I think if you're meditating, like, that's great. Sometimes it's going to be bad. I can't remember what I was reading recently, but somebody was saying, hey, you haven't meditated. It was on Reddit on a Buddhist or meditation conversation, and they were talking about, if you haven't had a bad meditation, you haven't really ever meditated. And that rang really true to me. I think having to sit with yourself sometimes on a bad day there's a lot of juiciness there. Just getting to know what might be going on, and in my experience, when you stick with it, you're able to actually digest and process the negativity. So know that at least this meditator has bad days more often than not, and hopefully that encourages the rest of you to keep going at it. A little bit of thoughts I had on that as we were meditating. Maybe also thinking, I like to bring this up, like why we meditate, what motivates us. I think we all have something that motivates us to do anything we do, right? But oftentimes we're not either not aware or not in touch with that it actually is that driving force,
or like why do you do things? You know, there's some motivation behind most things that we do, and that doesn't mean that that's a conscious motivation. Bless you. But I think it's important, especially when we're doing something like mindfulness and being present and paying attention, to be clear on why we're doing this. And there's no right answers, but I think in the process of wanting to be more aware, just and being honest with ourselves, it's like, why do you meditate? I mean, I think, and I'm going to talk from personal experience because that's what I have to work off of. But I think initially a lot of us come to meditation from a place of, hey, I'm anxious, I'm stressed out, I'm, overwhelmed by the amount of thoughts I have, or whatever. But it's self-care. It's at the end of the day, it's like the motivation is around self-care. And in Buddhism, I had a teacher years ago say, the great switcheroo of Buddhism is that you come in the door to do self-care, and then, a few months or years into it, you're like, but we're doing it for the benefit of everybody, right? It's the Mahayana part of it. So I'd like to touch a little bit into that. I don't just meditate to help myself, but I also want to show up for the people I love better, want to be more present. I think it's giving somebody the gift of your time, of your attention, not just like listening to answer, right? Like so much of our conversations, we're listening to somebody else to say something, as opposed to listening to them to hold space and just be loving. And I think that's a free act of love, is to be present. I know many times I've talked to Harvey or I've talked to Anne, and there's this quality of attention that is not common, and I'm very appreciative of it. So I like to try to embody that, and that's a motivation for me in meditation. Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to stretch for a minute or two, I'll let you stretch, and then we can jump back into it. Did we get names from people online? Did we get names from people online? Okay, thank you.
And so we'll do another round of meditation, just a shorter round of meditation than last time. Last time was about 20 minutes. We'll do about 10 minutes this time. And then we'll dedicate our merit. Connecting with our breath, allowing our breath to bring us into our bodies and the sensations in it. From those sensations in your body, noticing the three pillars again, how your sits bones, and really your entire being is held by earth. And if you drew a line directly down from any of you, straight line would go directly to the center of earth. Just feeling that connection with the planet that holds us without judgment or expectations. Within that embrace, we have our bone systems, our skeletal systems that hold us up. That is a pillar that allows us to be meditating. And then finally, our central channels that allows energy and consciousness to flow through our bodies. And to notice that we are supported by our bones, and those bones are supported by earth. Noticing if excess tension has crept into your jawline or your shoulders. And allowing the exhalation to just let go a little bit.
Thank you for sharing your breath with me today. We'll go ahead and dedicate our merit. We can start with dedication. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. And we dedicate our merit to all sentient beings. We'll do the blessings, and then I'll read the Book of Names. With all of you on mine way, light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom, shine within us everyone, till we all rise forth in one enlightened mandala. We dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular to Angela O'Brien, Mike Moldine, John Hyde, Jerry Sherrill, Vindo Hobson, Bardo, Mr. Wardlow, Bardo, Anthony Larson, all people affected by opiates, Hannah and family, Brendan Liu and Ann Sylvan for health, Sarah Serrano, Ken Bishop, Julie, Alberto, Thomas, Sylvester, Marisol, Ann and Harvey, bees, victims of oppression, people of Ukraine, animals, Laura, Bowman. And we'll close our practice with 3 ahs. And I invite you to unmute yourself for the ah, those online, and join us. As we do the ahs, initially we imagine light coming from ourselves to ourselves, giving ourselves part of the merit of this practice. And then from there we share it with our Sangha, the people here and the people online. But as we share it with you, we also receive it, right? And then from there, we start to expand to our city, our country, our planet, our universe. And maybe I like to think of the multiverse, or wherever your imagination can reach, just allowing that light to touch it. Well, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for coming out today. I will remind you that we are a non-for-profit, so your donations are very much appreciated. And with that in mind, we also have our spring fundraiser is starting, and there will be opening on Tuesday. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm reading the announcements. I'm not being weird. Yeah, check out our Facebook page or our website homepage for the link to browse through our silent auction. There's some really great things, and it all goes to benefit. There's things like intuitive readings, malas, Buddhist statues, tankas, places to stay in Switzerland, Texas, Columbia River Gorge. So please go and support by bidding and getting some awesome stuff. We start our week-long suction cycle on May 7th through the 13th. This will be a silent, hybrid retreat, so you can join online or you can join on person. Yeah, go check out the website to sign up for that. Donmountain.org, if you don't know. This Wednesday, April 26th, from 6:30 to 8:30, we will have a collaboration with Houston Sen Center, Austin Sen Center, on ourselves Down Mountain, offering a free online workshop for people beginning or continuing to work to undo the racism and healing from the pervasive impact of in a shame-free environment. Please consider joining this. This is important work, and really just like I think as Buddhist centers, or really anybody who claims to want to be doing something positive in the world, we are, engaging in with oppression is really important. So this is a cool opportunity to join. If you can go to our website, it's under, it would be like our main website under programs, then retreats and seminars. You can sign up for it. Sunday meditation in person and online next week, right? So the next Sunday we'll be here, and then it will be canceled on the 7th due to the retreat, but we'll have an online video.
Yeah.
Okay, there will be some online resources if you want to meditate as a group, but there will be no live meditation 2 weekends from now. But we will be here next week, so please come. I think that's it. Thank you. So it's 7 seconds over. Thank you.